Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here. And so we just found out that the next Batman is going to be Ben Affleck as Batman. And a lot of people are really upset. And he is not known for having a remotely impressive or superhero-ish physique. But this gives me a golden opportunity ahead of time to tell you guys how they're going to pull this off. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. When these actors make these miracle transformations for these superhero type roles, everyone goes, oh wow, that's amazing, I don't know how they pulled it off. Well, I'm going to break down for you how they pull it off. I'm going to tell you ahead of time, and then you're going to know when you see the diet and the training, and they're not going to release the drug info, that you're going to know that I was right about the synergy between all of it, and you'll be able to figure out what drugs he actually used. And I want to state for the record that no, I don't think he's going to have to break any laws or do anything illegal to do this, and I'm going to break down why for you guys. Alright, first of all, let's look at the training. I can tell you right now, with Ben Affleck's build, they're going to want to drop his body fat about 5%, and they're going to need him to be 15 pounds heavier so that he looks 25 or 30 pounds heavier, but they're going to pull that off with drugs and recomposition. But his training, because he is starting from a relatively small size, and they're going to be pumping him full of a fairly anabolic cocktail, and he's going to be eating an insane amount of calories, he's going to be pushed really hard. He's going to be pushed to a training workload that a normal person would not be able to handle. And what they're going to do, they're going to have him training 6 to 7 days a week. He is going to be training up to 4 hours a day. And this will all be released in a couple of years, and you guys will be able to look back at this video and say, wow, Jason was right. They're going to have him weight train for about 1 hour every day, and the other 3 or so hours or more is going to be conditioning work with a combination of strength-based conditioning, GPP work, things like working on a speed bag and a heavy bag. And the reason it's going to be done this way is because when you take a relatively small person and you put them on a cocktail of anabolic drugs, the actual strength-based conditioning work will induce muscle hypertrophy in addition to the weight training. And what they're going to want to do is to capitalize on the nutrient partitioning of the drugs. And so they need to have him burning as many calories as they possibly can. And if they get the micronutrients right on the diet, combined with the drugs, the more calories he burns and eats, the leaner he will get as he goes, because he will be making new gains and drug gains off of a perfect drug stack, a perfect diet, and a perfect regimen. So he will dramatically recomposition during this process. He's going to lose a lot of fat and he's going to gain a lot of muscle. So that's the way they're going to train him. Now his diet, it's going to be probably 4,500 or 5,000 calories a day. They might push him as high as 5,000. He'll be talking about it later and mentioning how he'd struggle to force the food down. It's all going to be prepared by professional chefs. It's going to be ultra high protein, and they're going to have him chugging protein shakes between meals. He'll probably be eating as much as 400 grams of protein a day, maybe 500. It's going to be very high carb. All the carbs are going to be starchy carbs with minimal amounts of sugar, because again, they want to keep circulating triglycerides as low as possible because of the nutrient partitioning nature of the drugs that they're going to use. And they want to keep the dietary fat as low as possible because his body will be burning through fat, and they don't want to give it any additional fat to slow down the fat burning process. And since hormone production is not going to be an issue because he will be on androgens, he will be on thyroid hormones, he will be on growth hormone, there will be no need for his body to produce any of these hormones. So they don't care about that. It's purely going to be to get the cosmetic goal as quickly and efficiently as possible. Now, for the drug cocktail, a lot of people always say, oh, this actor is going to use Tren. And I'm here to tell you guys that all of the Tren today is bathtub garbage. All the Tren on the market today is made in somebody's bathtub, somebody's kitchen. This is underground lab gear. There is no pharmaceutical grade Tren. There's no guarantee when you get Tren that it's real. There's no guarantee that it's sterile. And it is almost always illegal. Multi-million-dollar actors don't use bathtub gear. He is going to be seeing a medical doctor, and with his type of money, he can easily get everything he needs prescribed. He's going to get it from a pharmacy. It's all going to be American-made, FDA-grade gear, which is going to be way better than what most of you guys out there who are using are using. Your underground lab stuff and your cheap Chinese generics do not compete with legit FDA gear, particularly things like the HGH or the Anavar. In fact, most of you have probably never used real Anavar. 90% of it's Winstrel anyways on the market. So what he's going to be put on, he's going to be put on a cocktail of testosterone as his base muscle builder, and it will help lean him out this early on. He's going to be put on Anavar to help harden him up, and for the fact that it will strip body fat off with what they're doing. It will accelerate the fat loss process, and it will make him look harder and more chiseled. They're going to put him on FDA grade HGH, and he's probably going to spend $1,000 a month on that. For the overall synergistic effect, it will amplify the gains of the other two drugs, and it is going to, with the way that they'll be doing his diet and training, it is going to accelerate dramatically his fat loss on top of it. They will also probably be putting not T3 but T4 into him because it doesn't exhibit the same catabolic effects while still giving you the synergistic anabolic effects when stacked with the HGH and the testosterone. It is too much to get into the details of why, but that is most likely what they're going to put him on along with aromatase inhibitors. And he will probably be having weekly blood work done by a doctor to make sure that he is healthy and safe with what they're doing. But that is the drug combination they're going to put him on to achieve this result, and all of it will be FDA grade, prescription, perfectly legal. So that is the combination of how they're going to pull this off, and I promise you guys that Ben Affleck is going to look the part, and they're going to mention everything that I said other than the drug element later. And that is how he's going to be trained, and that's how he's going to eat. But expect a transformation like we saw with a Thor movie, or just like we've seen with the recent Superman movie with Man of Steel. We're going to see that type of physique. On Ben Affleck, I can absolutely promise it. Alright guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.